like. Support the vibe. Alright, so we're starting across legged seat. So I'm sitting on a wee kind of bolstery cushion thing just because I find it a comfortable thing to do. You can sit on a block or on a blanket or on a cushion or on nothing at all, of course. Main thing is that you find a way of sitting so that both sit bones will be grounded. You can cross your feet at the ankles or at the shins, whatever feels good, but see if you can feel like there is a cross and that you've got this kind of triangular base of the pelvis and the knees. What's nice about propping up your pelvis, your hips, is that you can feel that the knees descend down towards the earth and have a balanced sensation between the two sides, left and right. It's your choice whether you'd like to turn the palms up or down. Palms up tends to be a bit more kind of stimulating and energizing. Palms facing down tends to be more grounding. But close your eyes or drop your gaze as long as you have a singular focus. And maybe roll your shoulders back just once to feel that you've got spaciousness between your shoulders and your hips, between your shoulders and your ears, across the collarbones and across the belly. Into this shape, we pour the awareness which traces the movements of the breath. So notice where you feel the breath. Often the most obvious place is at the nostrils. Maybe you might feel how the breath passes across your top lip. Maybe you might even feel the breath all the way down to the base of the belly. Maybe you might feel how the pelvis grounds more into your seat, whatever it is. Because know that as you breathe, every single part of you expands on the inhale. We feel it explicitly at the place where it enters the body. But the lungs are expanding, the belly is expanding, the diaphragm is descending, the pelvic floor is descending on the in-breath. On the exhale, everything contracts back inwards. So these are these dualistic phases, inhale, exhale. But as you breathe, see if you can smooth out the transitions of your breath. So as you exhale, trace the breath all the way down to the base of the belly. And then notice the shift, the gathering, the pulling together of the inhale as it starts to rise. At the very top of the inhale, again there's a smooth transition as it becomes the exhale. Perhaps on your next exhale, you might consciously exhale more, like push the breath out through your nose. Then as you inhale, you'll notice, without you even trying to, the next inhale will be deeper. And that ripples into the effect of the exhale, which ripples into the effect of the inhale, this interconnectedness. Notice how duality starts to seem a little bit more hazy. Every inhale has the seed of the exhale. And where is the transition? There's no black and white concrete separation. When we start to draw our attention out of the mind, which categorizes things, into the physical body, which feels things, like its number one job, then we start to notice the grey, or rather, the full magical rainbow spectrum, which in fact is even more subtle than we perceive it, because we have a limited vision, a range of color particles that we can perceive, or frequencies rather. So as we move, as we are going to move through left and right and up and down and all those things, let's see if we can feel what's in between. That's where skillfulness lies, or insight, grace, and wonder. So on your next inhale, take the arms up towards the sky. Reach really tall up through the fingertips, and then as you exhale, take the hands down towards the floor. Let them plug into the earth. Let your right hand stay on the floor. Reach the left hand up. Left hip bone presses down. Left shoulder reaches away. Breathing into the space between the rib cage, between the ribs. Exhale, take your left hand behind you, so right behind your sacrum, right hand to left knee, and ripple up through the spine to get really tall. And then as you exhale, see if you can twist your rib cage around towards the left a little bit more. So the sit bone still pressing down into the floor. Think about it being the shoulders rather than the gaze that turns. The gaze will turn too, but like as an add-on. The next inhale, both arms will come up towards the sky. And then the exhale, take the hands around. Oh, forgot the side bend. We'll do it after. So turn your right ribs to the back as much as you can. And as you get to the furthest twist that you have, then breathe in. Notice how the breath, once you reach your limit, kind of softens that limit, that boundary. Inhale, take the arms up towards the sky. We'll take the left hand down. We'll do the side bend on this side, just to keep it even. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky, and exhale, come forward into a tabletop. Remove anything you're sitting on. So inhale, send your chest forward, your hips towards the sky. Exhale, tilt your tailbone down and round the upper back. So there are apparently, inhale, continue, the chest forward, the hip towards the sky. And exhale, the tailbone tucks the chin towards the chest. There are apparently two phases to this movement. But as we know from the breath that we practice, inhale, sit bones to the sky. Chest forward. There is an in-between. Exhale, see if you can find that. So can you find the space between the vertebrae? Inhale, hips towards the sky, chest forward. Can you find every single tiny element of this movement which makes up the bend, the stretching of the skin of the back of the body? Inhale, the pouring in of the breath all the way to the belly. Exhale, last time, push the floor away. And inhale, come back to the middle. Now this time, send your right rib towards the right, and then to the bottom, and then to the left, and then to the top. Draw a circle laterally from side to side. So it's not a formal thing. You can do what you feel. The hips can swirl, the shoulders can swirl. Hands and knees obviously stay where they are. See if we can get into the in-between spaces. So throughout the day, all of our repetitive movements, see if we can, so they get stuck and they get rigid and we get into our stuck patterns of behavior, and then we get surprised about why we can't break habits, go in the other direction. Let's now get in between all of that. So stretch between the ribs, stretch between the shoulder blades, let the neck move. Oh, it's quite nice to undo all of that, doesn't it? Inhale, take one more breath in and look forward. And then as you exhale, place your hands down onto the floor, or rather your chest onto the floor between your hands or slightly in front, as much as you can manage. It's knees, chest, chin. From here, lift the knees up, so ripple your pelvis to the floor, the chest forward, the hands come beside the ribs. Cobra pose, toenails press into the floor, heart to the floor. Exhale and lower. Rather than the two phases of this posture being on the floor and lifted up, see if you can find everything in between. So what lifts? Your belly lifts, your rib cage lifts, your heart lifts, the chin lifts last, the shoulder blades pull down the back. And then as you exhale, press back, child's pose. Exhale here. As you inhale, look forward towards your hands. Press the whole palm deeply into the floor, keep the toes underneath and lift the knees, come back downward facing dog. So here you can do the moves that you usually do, the bending of the knees, the swirling of the hips, the rolling of the shoulders apart from each other. Let the chin tuck so the crown of the head reaches down towards the floor. Think about maybe like the gaze coming up towards the navel. Hug the inner thighs towards each other. The kneecaps lift. If you want to get your heels towards the floor, that's the intention. I mean, you don't have to take the heels to the floor, but if that's what you want to do, engaging the front of the leg helps the back of the leg release. Oh hey, a duality again. Oh my goodness. But what's in between? What's the pulsation of the breath? What does that feel like? Take another breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Look towards your hands. Press into the fingertips. Come high on the toes. Let's take a walk all the way to the front of the back. We land in a forward fold. Hands onto the shins, find a halfway lift. Exhale and fold down towards the floor. Let your weight come into the left foot and reach the right foot behind you. Yeah, and then take the right foot and cross it on the left-hand side of the left foot. So your knees are going to be nestling behind each other. Right foot crossed behind the left. Right knee nestling into the back of the left. From here, you can use your left fingertips. Reach your right hand up towards the sky. There's quite a deep twist, right? I mean, it's not a deep twist, it's quite a dense shape. That the legs are hugging towards each other. Right knee nestling into the left. Left hip scooping back ever so slightly. Right shoulder reaching up towards the sky as much as you can. Exhale, take your right hand down towards the floor. Lift your left hand up towards the sky. Good. Exhale, take your hands down towards the floor. Now keep your feet where they are, lift up the heels. Now, listen, walk your hands towards the right and turn them. So we're going to pivot on the balls of the feet. Not going to lift them, you're just going to pivot, like there's a little spring in the middle of your ball of your foot until you come all the way around to the front again, and your right knee's in front of the left. Are we there? Ah! Cool. So basically, we're in a forward fold again, right knee in front of the left. Great. So you have to go all the way around. This is it. So why do we do a confusing move? Because we're getting into our body, we're going, what the hell are we doing? Left hand onto the floor, right hand towards the sky. So you reach across the collarbones as if from left fingertips to right fingertips with one long arm. Exhale, take your right hand to the floor, left hand up towards the sky. Squeezing the left knee into the right back of the knee as if there are two legs for, hey, one leg. Exhale, take your hands down towards the floor, both of them. Lift the chest, step back, left foot and right foot to downward facing. Two arms, two legs, one head, one torso, one pelvis. All this makes up one posture, coalescing into a shape. Okay, look towards the hands, very esoteric. Step your right foot between the hands, runner's lunge. So here, let's scoop that right hip back in space. Reach your chest forward. Yes. We're looking past ourselves, going all the way into the future. Slowly place your left knee down onto the floor. Ground your right heel. Scoop the pubic bone forward. So we're going to lift up, lift the belly away from the thigh. Arms swoop up towards the sky. Feel like your left knee is hugging forward. Your right heel is hugging back, as if you had a block between your thighs. I know that's impossible, but think about you were squeezing them together. Maintain that squeeze. Maintain the lift of the belly. And start to bend your right knee a little bit more. Keep pressing your right foot into the floor as you go down. Down, 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 down. Anjaneyasana. Good. Arms are reaching back. Belly is lifting up. Good. Inhale, come back up. Left hand will come to the floor. Right hand towards the sky. It's an open twist. Left ribs hugging towards your right knee. Good. Option to stay here. Option to lift the back knee. If you lift the back knee, fight to scoop your right hip back as you open across the collarbones. Lovely. Take your right hand down towards the floor, step back, plank. Place your knees, your chest, your chin down onto the floor. Scoop your chest forward, cobra, toenails press, elbows back, shoulders back, belly up, downward facing dog. Okay, from here, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, round it forward, knee towards your nose. So you can tap it. Or as close as possible. Right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it forward, between the hands. Left knee down towards the floor. Drive the right heel down, inhale, arms up. So really look for this space. Like you're lifting your belly up away from your right thigh. Join the palms together, make two hands into one. Reaching the elbows apart from each other. Strongly pressing your right heel into the floor, chest is lifting. You turn towards the right. So the elbows are going to be like parallel with that right knee. Good. Take a breath in. As you exhale, go forward, left elbow hooks over the right knee. Once you've got the hook, then lean back into it. So your collarbones broaden, your shoulders broaden. Your right heel is stamping strongly into the floor. Good. Okay. Option to stay here. Option to lift the back knee. Nice. So again, like we did in the open twist, feel like your right hip scoops back, the left heel presses back. Release the hands. Let's take the arms up. If you had your knee on the floor, let's all meet in high lunge. Drive the heels down to lift the heart up. And then as you exhale, turn towards your left, warrior two. So warrior two, the right knee is bent, moving towards a 90-degree angle. The back leg is straight, the left leg. I just turned around so I can see what's going on. We reach both arms apart from each other. Again, like one long extensive shape. Even though we're moving forward with the right knee, the torso isn't moving all the way forward, keeping it stacked over the center of the pelvis. The left leg is reaching back, so we explore all dimensions. Arms reaching left and right, head reaching up and down, or rather head up, tail down. Breath moving all around this shape. Lovely. Exhale, take the hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Good. Knees, chest, chin, meet the air. Ripple forward, cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Very nice, Gabby's friend. I love a slow, purposeful movement. You know why? Because we're exploring in between. We're not just kind of executing the postures. You know, so much we're like, okay, now I'm going to do cobra, now I'm going to do upward facing dog, whatever. But what makes up the posture? It's the toenails, it's the quads lifting, it's the belly, the waist lifting, the heart, the breath moving. Okay. Step your left foot between the hands, runner's lunge. So what is runner's lunge? It's the chest reaching forward, it's the heel reaching back, everything drawing apart in two directions. But apart from the forward and back, there's also the down and up, because the left heel is going down, the belly's lifting up away from the thigh, and in between it we feel expansiveness. Let's place the right knee down onto the floor. Lift ourselves up by pressing the left heel down. Good. So again, we have this like dualistic thing with our body where when we take the arms overhead, our back muscles switch on, and so the front ribs want to flare out, at least for me and some of us when we're bendy. And so we need to counteract that. We need to counterbalance this dualistic like pendulum effect. Hug the low ribs in, drop the tailbone down so that we're reaching up without losing the spaciousness across the front and the back. Left heel drops down, good, very nice. Bend the left knee slowly. So we're not collapsing into it either, we're feeling every single millimeter of movement with control. Yes. Inhale, come back up. Right hand to the floor, left hand to the sky, open twist. Right ribs hugging towards the left one, either you can stay or lift the back knee. Right heel reaching back, crown reaching forward, left knee hugging in towards the center line, one arm from right fingertip to left fingertip, take a breath in. Exhale, hand to the floor, plank. Plank again, we are always like, oh no, shoulders and arms. Let your legs, let it be a backwards movement. Your heels press back as your chest reaches forward. Makes it easier, sort of. Knees to the floor, chest to the floor, chin to the floor, and then ripple forward. So let it be a wave, right? Think about from toenails to hip points to low ribs to sternum to butt gently squeezing, and then downward facing dog. From here, left leg reaches to the sky. Exhale, round it forward. Tap your nose if you can, or get close to it. Round the upper back. Yes! Inhale to the sky. Exhale, step it between the hands. We place the right knee down. We lift the arms up again. Making space with the breath. Deep inhale. Palms together, exhale. Again, deep inhale. Deep exhale. Right elbow hooks over left. So as soon as we get the hook, we lean back. Lean back with that left shoulder. Fionnuala, right? Is that how I say it? Is that okay? Yeah. All right. Okay. Close enough. Yeah. Good. All right. Fionnuala. Lean back with the left shoulder. Good. All right. Gabby, lean back too much. All right. Let's lift the back knee. And then inhale, high lunge. So I know I kind of didn't give options for that, but I'm sure you can do it. All right. Exhale, warrior two. Good. So look for a bend in that left knee, a generous bend moving towards next knee, so that you can feel your hamstring switching on at the bottom. So you can feel your tailbone dropping. So you can feel your back heel, the right heel, pressing into the floor, both arms reaching. So Gabby's friend, scoop your right hip back, this one. Yes, lovely, smashing. Very good. Okay, Hands to the floor, plank. You can do knees, chest, chin, or we can do a chaturanga perhaps. We haven't done one of those. Your choice. Cobra or upward facing. Downward facing. Okay, lovely. Press into the fingertips, come high on the tippy toes. Let's take a walk to the front of the mat. Press into the heels, drop the tail round through the low back, middle back, and then the upper back. Until we take the hands all the way up towards the sky, both hands. Like in the low lunge, the low ribs hugging in. Okay, bend the knees, Utkatasana. Here we seek 4. So this is going to make you laugh probably, but it's a very helpful cue. Imagine that you had a little hazelnut in your butt cheeks and hug that together. Yeah, so what that does is it kind of engages the right stuff around the low back, around the low belly. So we don't want to stick our butt out and we don't want to tuck it right under, we want to find a lovely middle ground. So hold that, take your palms together, inhale. Hook your left elbow over your right knee, exhale. Yeah, so leaning back as much as you can. So when we do that, the body wants to compensate, the left hip wants to sway forward. Can we hook it back? Good, lovely. Okay, press into the left foot, hover the right foot up off the floor, stand up. Arms up towards the sky. Good. Now here you can stay, or you can see if the right leg can extend forward. Ooh. Good. You have space. Step it back. Right heel meets the floor. The foot is like, what, 45 degrees? So that's warrior 1. So I always used to struggle with warrior 1 so much, because I was like, okay, where are we going with this? Which way are we turning? The answer is in all directions. So your right heel is going back, the left knee is going forward. Your right rib cage is scooping forward, even though that right hip is never going to square forward unless you have ridiculously open hips or like very shallow hip sockets, because that back heel is pressing. But we fight for the squaring of the hips, and that engages the legs. Okay, from here, take your hands together, make a prayer, and now come onto the ball of the back foot, so we're into a high lunge again. Exactly. So now you can see the hips have squared. From here, we'll take right elbow, hook it over left knee. Feel like both shoulders lean back, left hip scoots back. Yes. To stop falling over, what do? Feel like the legs, the 2 legs or 1 leg, they hug together. Not 2, not 1, but this alive, like pulsating, 2-leg, many-armed, alive, Hindu god of a person that you are. Lovely. Okay, inhale, take both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Now, lift your heels high. Lift your hips high. Round your low back. Round your middle back. Find your vertebrae. Find the skin on your back. Find every single millimeter of your body as you ripple forward into a plank. So slow, like a wave. Like it's almost imperceptibly transitioning. Land in your plank, then press the space between your shoulder blades up towards the sky and reverse it. So the upper back, then the middle back, then the low back. Yes. All the way back until downward facing dog. One more time, nice and slow. Heels high, hips high, low back, middle back. Yes. Upper back. All the way forward. You can either do knees, chest, chin, or you can find chaturanga, your choice. Cobra or upward facing. Downward facing. Good. Here you might want to breathe out through the mouth. Let something go there. Notice what the inhale is like after you do that kind of exhale. Try it again. It's clearer, it's cooler, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Feet towards the hands. It's different for everyone. That's also the other nice thing. Things are unexpected. Come to the front of your mat. Press the heels into the floor, round through the spine. Heels down, tail down, until you take the arms all the way up towards the sky. Inhale. Hug in the low ribs. Drive your heels into the floor. Utkatasana. Good. So feel like your heels press into the floor and move away from each other. The low belly is lifting away from the thighs. Take the palms together, elbows wide, heart lifts. And then as you exhale, turn towards the left. Twisted chair. Good. So the right hip wants to swing forward. Let's hook it back. Rather than just going left, we're going left and right. Both directions at once. Hey. So lean back with left shoulder. Okay, inhale, come up to stand. All the way up with the left foot. So we're nice and high. Left knee lifting. Either staying like this or you can extend the left leg forward. Good. Then step it back. Warrior one. Lovely. So look for a nice bend in that front knee. So you want to sink the pelvis. Aha. Good. You sink the pelvis, but then you stop yourself overdoing it by pulling the left heel back. And you reach up to the ceiling with your chest, but you stop yourself overdoing it by lifting the belly at the same time. Yes, lovely. Okay, take the hands together, breathe in. Come onto the ball of the back foot. On the exhale, we'll dive forward. Left elbow roots over right knee. The other way, Fionnuala. Sometimes I make a mistake, but not today. Not on this particular occasion. Right shoulder hooks back, right hip hooks back, left heel presses back. Move in all directions. Good. Okay, inhale, arms up towards the sky. High lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Just one time, heels high, hips high, ripple forward like a wave. Like a wave or a particle or something in between. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, in. Downward facing dog. A lovely breath in through the nose. Lovely exhale. Okay. Take a walk to the front of the mat. Curl through the spine, tailbone down. Middle back, low back, everything rounded. When you get to the top, reach the arms up towards the sky. Now this time, we're going to hook the thumbs. You possibly have already done this before, even this term. I do this all the time, I love it. Heels down, the hips go forward, the chest lifts, the arms pull back. We don't collapse into the low back because the belly is lifting, but we think about the heart reaching up towards the sky. Good. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back and fold forward, softening the shoulders and the neck and the belly. Good. Repeat. Heels down, hips forward, hook the thumbs, reach the chest up. And exhale, interlace the fingers. Maybe shift the fingers along one, so you've got slightly unusually feeling grip. Get out of the familiar. Drop the heels into the floor, take the arms up and forward. Utkatasana. So find your little hazelnut, squeeze it in there. I'm going to find a less embarrassing way of making that cue, but it's so effective. Press into the left foot, hover the right foot off the floor, come all the way up to stand. Good. So stamping the left heel into the floor, lift the belly away from the right thigh, like we do in a low lunge. And here we're going to extend the right leg forward. Nice, good. Microbend your left knee. Take your right knee and place it on top of the left one. So we're crossing our legs like we're in a cafe. So we're going to start with that. If your foot can nestle behind the left calf, then we'll do that. If it doesn't nestle, then we just left it be at the side of the calf, or you can let it be on the floor. But we're going to hook it, I guess, somewhere so we feel stable. The left elbow now comes on top of the right. Either the backs of the hands or maybe even the palms meet. Press the arms against each other. Two arms become one arm. Press the legs against each other. Sit your hips back. Scoop your right hip back like we did in twisted chair pose. And then see if you can bring your elbows and knees towards each other without rounding the back too much. So sit your butt down. Butt down. Butt. Good. Yes. Balance. Lovely. Press your left heel into the floor. Inhale, stand up. Unhook your right foot. Now, lift the low belly. Lift the chest up. Hinge yourself forward with the chest. Right foot will reach back. Warrior 3 variation. See if you can keep your hands hooked. Two hands becoming one hand. Yes. So reach strongly through the back leg. Here, like in all of our lunges, we're reaching in both directions at once. Oh, okay, good. Step it back. I almost lost my balance there. Warrior 1. Keep the arms hooked. Heels pressing into the floor. Belly scooping up. Elbows hooking up. Maybe your gaze even comes up. Tiny little back bend. Yes, lovely. Stay for an exhale. Release the arms. Let them reach up towards the sky. Then exhale, take the hands. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Right elbow hooks over left. One more time the twist. Okay, fun little challenge to finish off this little sequence. Take a look at your left pinky toe. Take a breath in. Step your right foot to meet the left. Twisted Utkatasana. Yes! Smash it. Inhale, regular Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Woohoo! Smashing. Doing great, you guys. Really good. So let the knees be soft, let the head be soft. See if you can, before we do that last sequence again, shrug off all of the sensation of everything we're doing. I'm sure you can feel warm. I'm sure you can feel your skin. I'm sure you can feel muscles and things like that. Everything alive. I'm sure your breath is accommodating it. So let your attention be in your body. Let your attention be with what is real. Your body doesn't lie. Can you touch your toes? Well, you might be able to shortly, but at this present time, you can't lie yourself into touching your toes. You gotta bend the knee, or like practice it. Okay, press the heels down. Tailbone tucks. Round your back. Let the breath ripple across the back of your body. Feet pressed down. Hips forward. Hook the thumbs. Lift the chest. Arms up towards the sky. Yes. Exhale. Interlace the fingers behind your back and hold so. Good. Last time. Heels down. Hook thumbs. Heart lifts. Arms lift. And exhale. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Fold. Take the weight into your heels. Drop your hips low. Utkatasana. Nice. Okay, so find here again that little hazelnut friend. So think about your sit bones squeezing towards each other. That's how we're going to hold our balance when we do our Garudasana, our eagle pose. So take your left knee up and towards your chest. Feel like the belly's lifting, the heart's lifting. Left leg reaches forward. Exhale, cross it over the right one. Do twice, it hooks. The toes can always rest on the floor, that's totally cool. Then right elbow over the left one. Left hip scooping. Inner thighs pressing towards each other, belly lifting, tailbone dropping. Yes, good. Arms pressing. Yes, lovely, everyone. Good. Okay, inhale, stand up, unhook your left foot. And then, in order to go forward, lift the chest up, lift the belly up, and lift the side. Warrior 3 variation. Good. Reaching forward and back equally. Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. Okay. Step it back, warrior 1. Keep the arms as they are. Sink deep into the hips, lift the belly. Unhook the arms, inhale. Enjoy that back bend. Take the hands together. Left hip comes forward. Exhale, last twist. Good. So right hip scooping back, right shoulder back, backside strong, all of those things. Look down towards your right pinky toe. Step forward with the left foot. Good. Sink your hips low. Press the heels. Utkatasana. Inhale. Forward fold. Exhale. Hands onto the shins, halfway lift. Step your hands back. Downward facing dog. Heels high. So come up onto the tippy toes, maybe even if you can, kneecaps lift, low belly lifts, chest lifts all the way forward into your plank, that wave. Ripple it back, upper back, middle back, lower back, hips, all the way back to downward facing dog. Seamless, skillful. Last time forward, hips high, all the way into the plank. 2 options, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. So press the toenails into the floor wherever you are. The kneecaps lifting, the heart feeling forward. Good. Downward facing dog. Then place your knees down onto the floor. Child's pose. Notice the phases of the breath. The inhale, the exhale, exchanging each other. Like oscillation. But can you round off the corners of it again? Smoothly, gracefully turning the corner from inhale to exhale. Notice how tenderly that practice draws you into the body, that smoothing of the exhale and the inhale in the transition. Imagine if we smoothed off the corners of all of our actions in the same manner. We did everything with such care. Instead of leaping from one end state to the next. This is one of those transferable yoga off the mat skills that we take away. Letting ourselves be present with the breath. Look forward towards the hands. So I assume your hands are in front. If your hands are not in front, then take them in front and then look towards them. And then come up onto the fingertips and then creep the hands forward. You might need to creep your knees back a little bit more as well, so that the hips are stacking over the knees. We're looking for Anahata, which is heart melting pose. The arms are straight and long. The armpits are deep. The arms wrapping away from each other. Think about pressing more to the side of the arm. As the biceps move away from the ears, the crown of the head reaches, the belly lifts a little bit, and the hips go back, back, back. So the heart as it thumps. It's not just thump on, thump off. There's a rhythm inside it. It's a dance. Much more sophisticated and complex than we imagine. Look forward towards the hands again, and now take the belly all the way down towards the floor. Hands beside the ribs, press the toenails. Cobra, find strong legs. Roll the shoulders back and down the back as you press the heart forward. Good. Exhale, lower. And now, roll over so that you're on your back. Cool. So we're like lengthways along the mat. Now, bring your feet in close towards your bum. So maybe you can tickle your heels. The toes will face, they're basically like in line with your hips. Shoulders, hips, heels. But then the heels go a tiny bit wider. So toes pointing in. Now, flatten your low back to the floor by pressing your feet into the earth. Feel like the arches of your feet lift up. So, we're pressing down at the same time as lifting up. How weird is that? But this is how yoga teaches us the paradox, is the nature of nature. And how opposites aren't really opposite, you know. Anyway, so that's what we do. The low back presses into the floor. As you have pressed your low back into the floor, the abdomen hugging in towards the spine, you might have noticed the very bottom of your tushy having lifted off the floor. Continue that motion by pressing the heels into the floor to lift the hips in line with the knees. We're looking for bridge pose. So as the hips have scooped up towards the sky, maybe there's a little bit more space underneath your torso for your arms to go underneath. Take the triceps onto the floor, and maybe here you can interlace the fingers, not dissimilar to our forward fold, which we did before. As you've lifted the hips off the floor, notice if your knees are splaying out to the side, hug them back. Not that they're aiming towards each other, but more that they're in alignment with your toes and your shoulders. You feel like your chin is slightly nestling away from your chest so that the neck is still long. And then pour the breath into your lungs deeply. Take one more breath, maybe press the feet into the floor to help to lift the chest. And then slowly release the arms, and we again, like that wave, ripple through the spine, the shoulders, then the middle, the upper back between your shoulder blades, then the middle back, and the low back, all descend down towards the earth. You have an option, so either you can go ahead with another bridge pose, or if you'd like, if you feel ready for a wheel, if you regularly practice wheel, and if you'd like to do it, if you feel like your body is asking for it, then we can do that. If you're not a regular practitioner of wheel, then maybe you don't want to do it because we just haven't, not going to like fully teach it. But if it's something that you regularly have already done, then we'll do that. If you are doing wheel and the feet are the same, maybe a tiny bit wider away from each other, and the arms can come overhead. The palms are on the floor, either side of your ears. Notice if the elbows want to splay out, hug them in towards each other, and notice how the pecs, the muscles around your armpit all engage and switch on. Press your low back into the floor again. Feel how your pelvis tilts, and then exhale fully. Press the hands into the floor. Use the inhale to push down and lift yourself up. Nice. Good. If you're doing a regular bridge pose, you come up and into it in exactly the same way that we did. So Gabby and your pulse and your hip points towards the sky. High, high, high. Good. Lovely. Tuck your chin when you're ready to come out of it. Upper back, middle back, and lower back reach down towards the floor. Good. Feel like your low back has met the earth. Everybody down into your what do you call it? Just resting on the floor. Don't know what it's called. Press the feet down to feel how your low back meets the earth. And then gradually you can take your knees in and give them a hug. Take the hands around the shoulders. Feel like your tailbone lengthens away from the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. And pause here to absorb sensation. It's not really something you need to conceptualize. You can feel it on the skin, in your heartbeat. As you exhale, let your skin soften more. Take your hands onto your shins if they're not there already, and draw your knees apart from each other and out towards the armpits. You have a couple of options for what you'd like to do next. You can flex the feet, take a hold of the outside edges of the feet. You can maybe do one and then the other if you like, or give it a go. So this is what's called Happy Baby. In the Happy Baby, obviously, the feet lifting up is going to lift your tailbone up off the floor. See if you can nestle the tailbone down towards the floor a little bit more. So again, you're counteracting things, moving things in opposite directions so that we discover space in the middle between. So here again, you can stay if you like, or what I quite like to do, but it might not be for everyone, is let your hips lift up off the floor and let your feet reach back behind you. So you can either reach them all the way to the floor, or what I quite like to do is actually nestle the knees into the armpits, which maybe isn't the most sexy Instagram pose you ever wanted, but it feels damn good. I like to press the balls of the feet into the hands, the knees in towards the armpits, the chin in towards the chest, and feel how the whole back lengthens. If you'd like a more formal version of the pose, you can have your feet on the floor behind you and the hands interlaced. So if you reach the hands forward towards the bottom of your mat and interlace the fingers, this is plow pose or halasana. Any of these are an option. They're all doing similar things for our body. And know that like the last one I listed isn't necessarily the most valuable. You know what I mean? It's not like this tip top. Whatever it is, I just wanted to do a nice deep release for the back. If you have halasana, release the interlace of your hands, take the hands back towards your feet, bend at the knees, and let your low back slowly come down onto the floor. So we come back into this little upside down child's pose, I guess it is. Take the hands onto the kneecaps, let the fingertips hook over the kneecaps, and then let the knees drift away from you until you can feel the weight come into the low back of the sacrum, back of the pelvis, and then with it there, draw a circle with the knees. In both directions. From here, take the feet down towards the floor. You can either extend the feet to outside edges of the mat, or you can let the feet be together and the knees wide for a Supta Baddha Konasana. The hands can be beside you on the floor or overhead, Shavasana, your choice. Either way, it's going to be a place where you can rest, unfurl, and come back into this formless state. You know, we created posture, we created a yoga practice, we made all of its forms. Now we come back into this formless, potential, resting Shavasana state. Let the breath pour into your body. A deep inhale. Breathe out through the mouth. A deep exhale. When you get to the base of the exhale, allow the breath to pour back into you. Soften yourself to feel it. Notice again the delicate interweaving of the modes of the breath. Soften in the control of the breath. So release it. You don't have to control anything anymore, at least not for the next 4 minutes or so, or 5. And can you let yourself just be with the experience of being in a body right now, here on the floor, after your practice? See if the mind can quiet, even for a moment, to abide in the state of feeling, being, breathing. Allow your breath to pour back in a little deeper than before. That chain reaction of the deeper inhale, the deeper exhale. Even as we create the chain reaction within ourselves, we're triggering chain reaction out with ourselves too. Think that we're breathing in the breath exhaled by the people next to us, or that I breathe in here the oxygen exhaled by this plant right beside me. We're all constantly breathing each other. In constant flux and constant interconnectedness, supporting each other always. So take another deeper breath in again. As you breathe out, hug the knees in. Make any other movements that feel good, and when you're ready, you roll over to the side. Finally press with the hands to come back up to sit. So join the palms together again last time. And even in different rooms, we take a breath in together. Exhale out the mouth. Last time we breathe in. Om Shanti. Thank you, my friend. Lovely practice, you guys. Good job. My dog is coming to join the party. She never used to. Now she's into it. I think she's just hiding from the baby, to be perfectly honest. God. So tomorrow we have the little lunchtime meditation bite